there's another demo this weekend. I played a little bit, but probably not enough to talk about. So I know you guys played a little bit of it. So yeah, Jesse, you tried out the other two javelins that we didn't really play around with last weekend. So you wanna talk about those for a minute?
Yeah, like for the most part, they feel quite a bit different, and obviously like they have different attacks. But I don't know. I think maybe it might just be because I've played so much more with that first character you start out with, that I still with the Ranger, that I still kind of go back to that. Yeah. But I think it's just I like his special attacks and all that stuff. But like with the one that uses like electricity and stuff.
Storm.
I'm blanking. Yeah, Storm. Yeah, like I like his attacks and stuff, but I feel like I haven't quite learned how to use them yet. So I wasn't quite enjoying it yet until I get used to, how everything works with them. Because I'm not sure, but I think when you do your dash, like normally when you do your run or whatever, like you'd run. Most of the other characters run, but he hovers like along above the ground and just kind of hovers really fast.
Yeah,
and then there's like a shield, I think, around him when you do your run. So I believe he's protected from attacks when you're hovering. But even if you do your hover up in the air, like you have a shield, I believe, around you, and then you can just sit up there and do your attacks from the air, and basically do things that way. You do everything from above because I've noticed, like, on the ground, like, he doesn't have a shield really, or not that good of one, unless you're using that hover shield. So like and again, I was playing it on hard, so the enemies do way more damage on hard to you. Like you're constantly having to dodge somewhere and regenerate on hard.
Did you dodge a wrench?
Yeah. So now I what is it? If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge another javelin's blast shot.
Yeah. So like I do like the things that kind of he has, and again, there's a lot of different. I believe there's different attacks and things you can unlock for the characters. So I don't think those are the only attacks you can choose for him. I think eventually
the abilities.
Yeah, I think you eventually unlock more stuff, and you can kind of swap those out. I think, because that's what it seemed like, anyways. But
we'll probably see the full game.
And then the other one was the interceptor or whatever. Like, I like that one. Like, I like that you move really quickly, but she seems to kind of, again, like her shield depletes pretty quickly. And I think that's because she moves so fast, so they're expecting you to be able to dodge stuff really quickly. So therefore her shield isn't quite as good, but she deals a decent amount of damage. Like her melee attacks are actually pretty powerful. And she does this really cool, like all the javelins do a unique ground pound type attack. Like if you're up in the air and then you do a down melee attack from the sky. Like each of them do something different. Like hers is really cool. She spins like a screw, like a drill, and just drills right into the ground and does a blast attack to everyone around her.
I like to call that Mario's ground pound or bunt stop attack.
Yeah, it's different than that though.
But it's the same thing that you jump in the air, press down, and and he comes down to the ground. That's what I think of it as.
Yeah. But like, and again with that class as well, I played for like maybe each of them for like about an hour or so.
Yeah.
And so I'm not quite used to them yet, quite like I am with the other ones. So with the Ranger. So, but I do like they all have their own unique kind of abilities and feel. So
yeah.
But otherwise, everything that matters, like traversing the maps and stuff like that, all feel just as good as the Ranger does. Flying and all that. So
yeah. Nice. Well, I'm glad one of us played as those. I played a little bit as the Colossus. I did a lot of the free range mode, or not free range mode. It's freaking Star Fox. Sorry, I've been doing some stuff for POW Block and Star Fox is on the mind. So, but the free play mode, yeah. Thank you, Jesse. And I played around as the Colossus, and I really liked the Colossus. Getting used to pulling out your shield when enemies are shooting you, because the Colossus, as opposed to the other classes, doesn't have an overshield. So when you're out in the world, you need to have your shield out unless you are shooting someone, right? And it's a kind of a unique dynamic to go by, because like you're used to just like running around with the other classes without worrying about shield really, but you have to pull out your shield with the Colossus, and it's kind of cool. So I was running around with a group earlier in the free play mode, and I just found them out in the open world, and they were fighting some big monster, and I was shooting the guy, and then he was like throwing stuff at me, and I used my shield and deflected the stuff he was throwing at me, which it felt really good to do that. So and then there's like a meter at the bottom that your shield strength or whatever, and then if it breaks it's on like a cooldown timer or whatever. But it has a really cool melee attack where especially if you're flying, you just hit it and you do this big huge ground slam, kind of like the Hulk does, and it just clears out a whole wave of enemies. It's really cool. But I only played for like an hour this weekend. I was doing so many other things, and we're prepping other things for our main show, Nerds Gone Rogue. We're prepping a best of episode, and like that's been kind of, boy, what a dumb idea that was. It's rough, man.
That'll work.
Yeah, but it'll be fun. But yeah. Anyways, like I like the flying mechanics. I like the way the guns feel. It definitely feels a lot like Mass Effect in the end. Like Mass Effect 3, 2, and 3, kind of that kind of shooting, and which isn't a bad thing. Like I like Mass Effect shootings enough. But on Dark Zone Junkies, if you are interested in Division, you should go download that podcast. But we talked about how the Division has kind of set a new standard in third-person shooting. It used to be Gears, I feel like, for a long time, and then other games evolved, and then Ubisoft kind of nailed it with the Division. So, it's weird going from the Division to playing Anthem and kind of comparing the two, which I think is a little bit unfair of me to do that, but it's more about the combos that you're setting up with your teammates and stuff, and we're going to get into that a little bit in the news, because there's some new endgame reveals that I think would be good for us to discuss, because everybody's confused about the endgame and what is it and where is it coming from and stuff like that. So but yeah, add anything you got? Oh, sorry.
There was just one thing I was going to say really quick, because I did play some free play mode last, like when the VIP demo was coming out, and I did just going around the world and everything, because in that way you can kind of just go wherever for the most part. and it's just like the open world. And they do, I don't know if you ran into any of these, but they do basically do something very similar to what Destiny does, where if you're just going around, you can find random chests with unlockables in them.
Yeah, I found some flying around.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't really get much. I got crafting materials, and I think I found one weapon. I think it was like a pistol, but the one I was using was already better. But still, I mean, I found some things, and then I got trapped in this cave with this big. I didn't know how to get out, and I tried to fly out one of the holes, and I wrecked just terribly. It was bad. That was some bad wreckage, man. Because I was like, that hole is clearly big enough for a Colossus to fit through, and guess what? It was not. So, and then I couldn't find my way out, and I was like, I've got work to do. I'm turning this off. What a great host I am of this show, guys. Not even playing the game. Can't even figure out how to get out of a cave. Ed, you got anything to add before we get into this news?
Yeah. Okay, so I just finished the Anthem demo, and I kind of realized that it's more of a mix than Mass Effect and The Division. It's a mix of Gravity Rush and Horizon Zero Dawn. Gravity Rush, as in the flying. The more that I started playing, the more I started getting used to it, and the more I started looking at it, I'm just like, this pretty much feels like Gravity Rush than like Star Fox or anything. Just the feel of it. Not saying control wise, it's just like I could see these two almost being similar, and that's good. It's not a bad thing, no knock against it, but I'm like, it feels more closer to that, which is a good thing. And I think with Horizon Zero Dawn, for those who Jesse, you don't know about it, there's parts that you could break off the dinosaur when you get to a certain point of damage.
I played it a little bit, but
with Anthem, on some of the enemies, you break off certain pieces of their armor and stuff, and that it'll do more damage. You know, like that's kind of the way to like really take them down and stuff. And so it's kind of having that similarity to it. And I was just like, okay, that's cool. Because some of the basic enemies, you just got to get their shield down or kill them or just straight up shoot them. But it's like one of the big fire things. He got like a little big shield. But if you and your team like start going around them and fragging them and stuff, you could break pieces off of them and it'll glow. It have a light glow, so when it destroy the stuff, it's like you're breaking more fire off. It even happens in a Division, in a sense, when the firemen come and you can hit their gas tank and you see the effects. It's kind of almost like that, but when you look at it from Horizon Zero Points way, you can see those kind of similarities to it. So I was looking at that game that way. I think I want a little bit more, and this is gonna sound weird, but I kind of feel like that I want to be able to take my javelin on and get them stuck on a wall and have them face them like in a vertical kind of different 3D dimension and stuff. Because I was just like, it's cool that I'm doing regular cover, regular flying and stuff, but it would be cool to run up a wall or something and just like shoot them from there and move around and stuff. It was just like, it's another gameplay element that I would like. I was just thinking of that, and I'm like, that would probably make total sense, because I know with a lot of open area and a lot of respawning of the enemies, I'm just like, they need to open up more gameplay methods on how to go about a situation. So, but I mean, that was what I got out from playing the rest of the demo. I haven't tried all the other ones. I think I'm not like, I don't know how to equip different weapons and stuff, because I tried to look on how to do it, and it doesn't tell you a way on how to do that.
You gotta go to the forge, like, you know, and when you're in the one area where your javelin is kind of in the middle of this like platform thing, and then you walk up to it to get into it. Yeah, well, there's a couple of ways you can do it. I think there's like a menu thing that you can pull up and to go to the forge, but otherwise right before as you're walking up to the platform, there's a little computer like thing down at the base of the platform, like where you first walk onto it. And if you look at that computer thing, it will say forge, and then you go into that, and then that brings you into the menu where you can change the color of your javelin. You can equip the weapons. You can change out which attacks that your character does. You can, all that stuff is kind of all done in that forge.
I don't know if they explained that in the demo, because it's something I completely missed. I was just like, this is kind of,
there's a whole tutorial section that you can opt in to do through the menu system.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured it out. I just figured it out on my own.
Yeah. Well, if you talk to Zoe right outside of your javelin, the girl to the right, she tells you to go to the computer to customize your javelin, and it's right next to her. So.
Oh, okay. Because I just feel like that part is kind of that's
well,
going to be.
It doesn't really have the best menu system, to be fair. I think the only thing that's laid out well is your. Like once you get into where your javelin is and the customization and stuff, like that's really the only place where the menu system is really laid out well. So
I think I'm so used to Destiny and the Division that my weapons and stuff are with me, and whatever I need to switch up.
Yeah, that's kind of obtuse too. Is like you can only take in stuff with you when you put it together.
Yeah.
You have to put your javelin together, which I guess makes sense. Like, you can't really carry stuff with you in a giant mech suit, but like at the same time, it would still be nice. But
flying around with like a hockey duffel bag.
Yeah, yeah. But we're gonna